Worst Drivers of Ontario Wham Bam Dash Cam. G'day guys, how's it going? My name is AussieTash. I come across this video on YouTube. I have been trying to find Canada Worst Drivers videos. You know, we've got one, Australia's Worst Drivers, Australia's Funniest Drivers, Dash Cam and all this sort of stuff. I found this video. This is based in Ontario. We're looking forward to seeing what we see, mate. We could see some scary stuff. We could see some funny stuff. Who knows? But before we do, please guys, make sure to smash that subscribe button, hit the notification bell for all future videos and live streams. Okay, let's get into it. Who lives in Ontario? Mate, watch out. You could be on this video. Worst Drivers of Ontario Wham Bam Dash Cam. Let's roll.
Here on Wham Bam Dashcam, we've shown you over 1,000 dashcam videos sent in by our fans, and we serve up 20 new ones every week.
Yeah.
Today, we're showcasing some of the craziest clips we've ever featured, so buckle up for Wham Bam Dashcam's Worst Drivers of Ontario, Volume 1.
This is only Volume 1.
Amelia was waiting to turn left at an intersection she told us has been under construction forever. Watch what happened when another driver entered the intersection way too fast and tried to turn right.
Oh!
Amelia's airbags deployed, and the lady driving the Honda Civic called 911 while Amelia was still in shock. First responders arrived quickly, thanks in part to the fact that a hospital is right next to this intersection. Both the Civic and Amelia's VW Beetle were totaled and had to be towed away. The Beetle had also been pushed backward into a van, but it only sustained a small scratch on the front bumper cover. Amelia told us that having a dash cam has saved her a lot of time. She also said, shout out to all people who don't have a dash cam. Get one as soon as you can.
Yeah.
It saved my butt and can save yours.
There you go.
Moiety was headed to pick up his daughter Chloe from daycare.
Okay.
While waiting to turn left from one of two turn lanes, he watched an SUV driver try to beat the red light and get T-boned by an oncoming van.
Oh, see why? You can't be in that much of a hurry, really. Honestly.
Moiety was shocked by the collision that happened right next to him. When he came back the other way shortly after, everyone was standing on the side of the road, so he believes there were no injuries.
It's crazy, eh? Fair income.
Reese was headed to a thrift store when he got into a turn lane, the wrong turn lane.
Oh, no, mate. We've all done that. Oh, maybe not that dramatic, but yeah. I don't like driving on the freeway.
He was blinded by oncoming headlights and couldn't see that the lane he'd gotten into ended and a new one began with an island between them. He dodged the pole in the middle, and thankfully only his alignment was damaged.
Yeah, no.
This submitter watched the driver of a tanker truck suddenly swerve to avoid hitting a turning minivan.
Oh.
Our submitter thinks the trucker wasn't paying attention. What do you think?
Well, was he blinkering? Was the minivan blinkering?
AJ was headed to work one morning after a snowstorm when he watched another driver try to turn right from the left lane. The driver of a pickup wasn't able to stop in time to avoid a collision.
Oh, no. Just have a look at the conditions on the road. It is wet. The roads are covered in snow. Oh my gosh, just have a go at this. And it's my understanding that you guys don't really practice like driver ed in the snow. Mate, you just get your license and you learn as you drive. That's really scary, man. Really, really scary.
The driver of the car blamed the pickup driver for the collision. AJ gave the pickup driver his phone number so he could get a copy of his dashcam footage.
Oh, there you go.
Chris had just finished at work and was driving his all-wheel drive Mazda CX-3 equipped with all-weather tires in the snow. Unfortunately, all his preparation for winter conditions couldn't help another driver he encountered.
Oh, his tires were cactus, mate. They weren't ready, eh?
The other driver was going too fast and slammed on the brakes while cranking their wheels to the right, resulting in a total loss of traction.
Yeah.
Their car slid directly into Chris's Mazda. Chris checked on the other driver and called 911. Thankfully, nobody was hurt, but Chris is sorry he missed leg day. He sent his dashcam video to the insurance companies, and he's now waiting for their response.
Yeah.
This submitter encountered a driver who we suspect was new to this whole driving thing. They spent several minutes inching forward even though the light was red and it wasn't going to turn green anytime soon.
It's red, dude! What are you doing? Stop!
It's red!
After our submitter gave them a friendly beep, they backed out of the intersection in time to make room for cross traffic. But that only set them up to make another mistake.
Oh no. What are you doing now, dude? It's green! Oh!
They forgot to shift back into drive, and when the light turned green, they nearly backed into our submitter's Honda Civic. He honked at them again before they solved the problem and drove off.
Back away from that car. Stay away.
Cena and his wife Anita were on their way to their favorite sushi restaurant.
Oh,
Suddenly,
sushi.
the driver of a Mitsubishi invaded his lane without signaling.
Oh! He was trying to get into that lane, eh? Maybe? Falling asleep?
Cena said he kept on going. Sushi was waiting, after all. Later, Anita asked if he was going to send the video to Wham Bam, and he told her he sure was.
Yes, he wanted it on Wham Bam, mate.
This emitter was waiting in a left...
We have this in Australia. It's called Dashcam Australia. And I swear Adobe watches it every Sunday because they put them on every Sunday. I reckon he watches it every Sunday to make sure that I'm not on there. Mate, I don't like to drive much. I barely drive at all. I wouldn't drive on the freeway, that's for sure. If it has more than 2 lanes, I don't want a part of it. I don't want a part of it. Oh, mate, I see you've got the Golden Arches there. You got a Macca's. You got a McCafe. Here's a little thing for you. McCafe was formed in Melbourne, like in Australia. And oh my gosh, don't Melbourne think they are the kings of coffee. They reckon their coffee tastes better than like coffee in Italy and all of Europe and stuff. Mate, Macca's, your coffee's not that good. Melbourne, you're not that fancy. Oh my gosh, have a look at these conditions. That's just crazy. But, mate, if you got to stop for a cheeseburger, you got to do it, ain't you? Oh, a cheeseburger. Macca's cheeseburgers are the best.
Turn lane after entering the intersection with a green light. When the light changed and he was finally able to turn, an oncoming driver ran the red light and T-boned his Mercedes.
Oh, no, you're going to T-bone the Mercedes. Oh, you did too. Oh.
Thankfully, there were no injuries and both vehicles remained drivable. Both drivers exchanged information before making a collision report, and a few days later, our submitter's insurance provider called him with some good news. If not for his dashcam footage, our submitter would have been found at fault. Instead, the other driver was found responsible. When our submitter got a repair quote, the shop said it would cost more to fix than the value of the car. This meant his 2011 Mercedes-Benz C-Class would be written off, but he really didn't want to lose his car. He negotiated and eventually convinced them to write him a check so he could fix his car himself, which he then did. I'd say the car looks great after the repairs, and those new taillights are nice too.
Mercedes drivers.
This submitter's father-in-law was driving his Toyota Corolla. Suddenly, the driver of a Ford SUV pulled out in front of him while checking for traffic from the right, but not from the left.
Oh my God, mate. You gotta look both ways.
Even though he swerved and braked, he wasn't able to avoid a collision. Our submitter's Corolla was totaled, but thankfully there were no injuries and the insurance settlement paid for a replacement vehicle.
Jeez. That's a bit scary.
Victoria was driving home with her boyfriend after visiting her mom on Mother's Day when they watched a pickup driver use a turn lane to run a red light.
Oh no. Dude, it's red. What are you doing?
She told us they've seen people do this before on Wham Bam Dashcam, but they never expected to witness it themselves. Sadly, they couldn't make out the license plate number in their dashcam footage.
There was someone crossing the road too. Isn't that an indicator that the light's red,
This emitter
mate?
sent us a video of one of the most confusing roads we've ever seen.
Oh,
this
gosh.
access road, Sherman Cut, changes direction depending on the time of day and the day of the week.
Oh, no.
At this time on a weekday, our submitter would have been going the wrong way, but this was a Saturday and they were going the right direction for this time on a Saturday. Unfortunately, another driver didn't realize that.
Okay, hold on. Hold on. So this particular road or whatever, it changes directions at certain times of the day and stuff like that. Well, that's just madness, isn't it? Why wouldn't it go the same direction all day, 24/7? That's crazy. Do you guys have many service roads that do this? That's nuts, man. It's an accident waiting to happen, eh? It's a lawsuit waiting to happen. That's crazy. And how many times are people going to say sorry on that service road? My gosh, that's nuts. Nuts. I'd be very confused. I'm staying away from that.
I guess the many signs, including red electronic X signs overhead, weren't enough of a clue to set them straight.
Wow.
Still, I can't imagine what anybody could have been thinking when they designed this road.
Nah.
It seems like they're just begging for accidents.
Yeah. It's an accident waiting to happen, mate.
Watch what happened when Mike was on his way home.
Oh!
Oh, that was really bad.
That was bad,
He was on
mate.
his way home from work when a car cutting through traffic behind him was struck by an oncoming SUV.
Oh.
Since he was carpooling with a coworker and other people were stopping, Mike continued on his way home.
Yeah.
This emitter was driving his Civic when the driver of a Jeep tried to get Honda bumped by making a U-turn from the rightmost lane, cutting across every lane of a 5-lane road.
Oh my god! What are you doing?
Thankfully, our submitter was able to
Oh.
stop in time to avoid a collision. I guess it's a Jeep thing.
I don't know about that.
Ravi and his wife Aisha were on their way to celebrate her birthday when the traffic in front of them unexpectedly came to a standstill.
Oh no.
As the Ford Fiesta in front of him rear-ended a Land Rover, Ravi slammed on the brakes and swerved into the other lane. He couldn't believe what had happened and told us he felt like he was in a Fast and Furious movie.
Yeah.
Ravi told us he'd been wishing to capture some dashcam footage to send us,
Yeah,
but
not
he
like
now
that.
realizes he should be careful what he wishes for. He's glad what happened wasn't any worse, and so are we.
Oh my gosh. That looked crazy, man. That could have been much worse. That could have been a major pile-up, mate. Yeah, you don't want to submit dash cam stuff. You really don't. We've had that many experiences where we've said, oh, mate, I wish we had the dash cam for that. I wish we had the dash cam for that. But, my gosh, here's a tip. If you do the right thing and you don't run red lights and you follow the rules, mate, a lot of these things shouldn't happen. My gosh, there's been some crazy ones there. Okay, guys, we're up to the top 10 worst drivers of Ontario, Wham Bam, Dash Can Edition, Volume 1. I have no ideas how many volumes of this there was, how many episodes there were based in Ontario, but we've got to the top 10. Let's go. Let's bring it home. Itch your nose.
Peter encountered a driver who wanted to turn
Hey!
left, but failed to utilize the center turn lane in order to get out of the way of other traffic.
Oh no. Well, that could have been worse, eh? This is on Barrie, Ontario. That's where Cam lives.
After
Hi, Cam.
Peter started honking and shouting at the other driver to use the center turn lane, they stayed right where they were, even gesturing for other drivers to go around them in that
Oh!
same center turn lane. Eventually, the driver of the Ford Fusion turned, and Peter was able to continue. We have no idea if they ever realized that they'd done anything wrong.
I don't think they did, mate.
Travis was on his way to a home improvement store when a Civic driver jumped out from between other traffic, almost causing a collision.
Oh, dude, what are you doing?
Travis laid on the horn while swerving to avoid the Honda bump. If you're new to our channel, a Honda bump is when, you know what, it's a thing, just Google it. Thankfully, no contact was made.
Oh my gosh.
Travis grabbed a snack and calmed down at a nearby gas station before continuing to the store, then safely heading home.
He went to the Shell.
Dave was on his way to visit a friend on a beautiful Friday morning.
Oh.
When a white SUV pulled out in front of him, it blocked his view of a gray sedan that also turned in front of him.
Oh, no. Oh.
With no time to react, Dave collided with the rear door of the gray Honda
Yeah.
Accord. Police responded to the scene
You
and
reckon?
cited the Honda driver. Both vehicles were undrivable
Oh,
and
they've
had to be
written off,
towed
mate.
away.
Yeah.
Thankfully, nobody was injured, and the Honda driver admitted fault and apologized. Dave's insurance claim is still being processed, but sadly, his Volkswagen Passat was totaled.
Yeah,
Dave
mate.
told us his girls are big fans of both Wham Bam Dashcam and Wham Bam Tesla Cam. So shout
Is
out
it
to
Tesla
Alice and
Cam one?
Olivia.
Okay.
Mike was headed home after picking up his 4-year-old from preschool when the driver of a silver Acura SUV pulled out in front of him while he was going around 50 miles per hour.
What are you doing? Some people are scary, eh? Some people are really scary.
Thankfully, the Acura driver heard the horn of Mike's Ram 1500 Rebel and hopped the curb onto the sidewalk to avoid a collision.
Yeah.
He then took some time to contemplate his actions while Mike explained to his son what had happened. Mike told us he's a fan of all our channels and a big dashcam advocate, and they have front and rear dash cams in all their family's vehicles. Hopefully he has security cams and can send us some footage from them too. Gregory was approaching an intersection with plans to make a protected left turn. Suddenly, a BMW pulled out of a dealership parking lot and collided with the rear bumper cover of his Honda Civic before driving away.
Oh no.
Did he hit me?
BMW drivers, mate, and Mercedes
Gregory paused
drivers.
before making a U-turn and
Tell
returning
ya.
to the dealership to see if they had any security cam footage, but sadly, they didn't. He took
Okay.
his Civic to a body shop and is waiting to see if there is any structural damage.
Okay.
When this submitter pulled up to a complicated four-way stop, an impatient Honda driver behind him honked before trying to go around him in the turn lane. When our submitter ruined their plans by proceeding safely through the intersection, albeit not on the Honda driver's preferred schedule, they got offended and decided they needed some payback.
What are this going to do?
After speeding past her submitter on the right, the Civic driver nearly clipped his Mercedes as he cut all the way across to get to the left turn lane. Thankfully, no collision occurred.
Mercedes drivers.
Quincy was driving down a
Alright.
Canadian highway when a torrential downpour began out of the blue.
That's a lot of
Some
rain,
drivers
man.
chose to pull over and wait out the deluge, but Quincy decided to push through it.
Oh, Quincy. You couldn't have stopped, mate. Look what's in front of you. That car's like, whew, whew, whew. Mate.
Suddenly, the
You
driver
pull
of the
over,
pickup truck ahead
Quincy.
of Quincy lost control and spun
Yeah.
completely around. Thankfully, the driver was able to regain control once the pickup was once again facing the right way down the highway.
That's a lot of rain, eh?
Salar watched two city buses collide when one of them turned right from the left lane.
Oh, no.
Salar stopped and directed traffic until police showed up and took over. He also took this video with his phone to get us a super clear look at the aftermath of the collision. He
Oh.
wanted to shout out his partner, Stephanie. They also watch Wham Bam videos each night before bedtime. Is this a
Before
thing?
bedtime.
Who else does this? Let
That's
us
a bit
know
weird.
in the comments.
That's a bit weird, isn't it?
Mike was waiting at a red light to make a protected left turn. As soon as his light turned green, an oncoming driver who was not turning decided it was his turn too.
Oh my gosh, mate, stop. Oh, at least he waved, hey.
Mike hit the brakes, avoiding a collision, and the driver of the Mazda waved as if to thank Mike for letting him safely run his red light. Mike thought maybe the light had malfunctioned, so he checked his rear dash cam angle. Sure enough, the Mazda driver was halfway across the intersection before his light turned green. Thankfully, it was only a close call, as Mike's Hyundai
Hey!
Ioniq also contained his daughter and her friend.
Oh my gosh. All right, number one, here we go.
This submitter was heading home after buying a lawnmower when he noticed an oncoming police car waiting at the same intersection.
Where?
Evidently, the driver of the Honda CR-V ahead of him wasn't as perceptive.
Okay, so here's the Honda. There's a police car. Oh, it's you just on a red light, mate.
After the Honda driver made their way through the red light, the cop car flipped around and chased it down. Our submitter just chuckled and continued on his way.
Ah.
Bam, we got a picture of that.
Sometimes the police can be in the right place at the right time, can't they? Oh, that's gold. That's gold, mate. Okay, well, there you have it, guys. Worst drivers of Ontario, Wham Bam Dash Cam. Mate, there was some touch cloth moments there, I'm telling you now. Okay, guys, that was the video for today. If you'd like to, please jump on, smash the like button, leave a comment, and of course, remember to subscribe. That really helps me out. Cheers from down under. Take care. Please drive safe. Bye.